Oh, wow, 6 people already. Sorry for that brief bit of silence, folks. I was waiting for some people to come in, and I wasn't. Oh, now 10. So I was waiting for some people. And there's the playback. Okay. So I'm going to wait just a minute more, right till I post the announcement on Discord that we have this thing going on, and then, well, the stream will start. So yes, for those who are not aware or have not seen the title of this video or the video before that I posted previously, VeggieTales Abridged will be leaving the channel very soon, when either Standard Misadventures reaches episode 10 or on the 1-year anniversary of VeggieTales Abridged postgame, because believe it or not, we're actually getting really close to that. I know, right? I didn't think it would be possible. You know what? Time waits for no man. So basically, this is kind of an overall thing of, do you have any questions about this situation? What constitutes for downloading or anything kind of like that. And basically, I'm here, I'm completely open, here to discuss this because this is a really big deal. That's a good call, downloading most of the videos. If you guys want any good downloaders, personally, I use 4K Video Downloader to download all of the stuff I use for Media Mementos. There's a lot of third-party websites that do that too, like savevideo.me or keepvid.io, although do not let it use notifications that will download malware. Or Winx is another one that I've heard being thrown around. I heard that's a pretty good one too. Remember, everybody is allowed Everybody is allowed to download, but no one is allowed to re-upload. What videos are I not going to delete? All the VTA ones. So basically, all VTA ones, they're not getting deleted, they're getting privated. So they're going to be privated that way. If anyone re-uploads them, I can snatch that re-upload and say, that's mine. Because this isn't about me for the most part. It's about Standard Misadventures, which I guess is about me and Kyle. And also it's about those 2 actors that wanted to stay anonymous, who don't want to be a part of the show, who have their own things going on in their personal lives and have their own stuff going on. I'm not really involved with any of that, so there's no drama. It's honestly kind of, one of them's a little bit sad, and then the other one is, like, I can't really describe it, I guess. It's more neutral, but, they're both sound reasoning. And they've done so much for me, like work for free on this show. It's only fair. It's only fair that I do this for them because they've already done so much. Anything you're doing later on since this is ending? Yes, Standard Misadventures is going to be the main focus of this channel because now we're trying to launch that into a brand. Once episode 7 or so gets around, we're going to be commissioning some art for the characters. We're going to get our website going. The videos are, or at least the one episode that's out already, is available on Spotify, and we're trying to get it on Apple Podcasts. There's going to be a new episode, I think, maybe coming this Friday or Saturday. Pretty dang soon. All we're waiting is one last person to submit their lines, and then we can get this episode ready to go. And then episode 3 shouldn't be too long after that. Are you privating any of the top 10 videos? No. I don't understand why you want to end this. Well, then watch the video. I'll wait. I'll still be here when you come back. Watch the video. I explain everything there. Who are the characters they voice? I'm not saying that. I was going to ask about unlisting them instead of privating, but then I heard the voice actor thing, and yeah, unlisting would be nice because that way people who have them in, say, a playlist can still watch them, but the voice actors have asked to not be a part of it. And the only options to do are either go back and redo half of the episodes, which would take at least a year to do, and I have no interest in that, and I don't think any of my editors do either. Especially because I've lost track of one of them. I don't know where he is. No one really knows where he is. And I don't want to do VeggieTales content. After all, I've said that so many times. So Standard Misadventures is, that's our priority. Larry already got his money back in episode 21. That joke died. So Standard Misadventures is our big focus right now because we don't want that to hurt the brand. Standard Misadventures, for those who don't know, which I've been saying this many, many times, is the new show we have that Kyle, formerly known as Alfonso, who worked with me on VeggieTales Live and Reloaded, we've been making this for about 5 years now, almost 6 years. And we've been working on this so hard. It's basically a slightly more mature VeggieTales. So rather than for young kids, it's more for like, I guess, ages 8 to 14 or so. Although it is kind of one of those shows like Animaniacs that it's got humor for adults in there too. Although nothing so blatantly off, but you know what I'm trying to say. Basically, think VeggieTales meets a family-friendly version of The Simpsons. It's about 8 people living in rural middle of nowhere Vermont, and they're learning life lessons about where they belong in life, how to worship God, how to follow his commands, and how to just get by. Because as someone in their age group, when you're just out of college trying to find your way in adult life, that's a bit difficult. And that's when you learn a lot of lessons that if you're not prepared for, life's going to kick you a lot. I'll tell you what the point of them when making them in the first place was, making a good show. I just got this crazy comment here saying, if you don't want to go back and fix the episodes again, then what was the point of making them in the first place? Making a good show. When I made the show, I didn't think something like this would happen. If you got a problem with it, sorry. I'm not going back on this. No amount of whining or complaining is going to stop that. I made my decision, and I'm going to fully embrace it. Nothing is going to stop me. You have a problem with it? Just say you got a problem with it. But you're not going to convince me otherwise. I have moved on, the actors have moved on, the editors have moved on, and most of the fans have moved on. Please don't delete this. Sorry, I will. But like I said, everyone who wants to download them can. But if they get re-uploaded, I copyright strike. Like I said, I'm not going back on this decision. I don't want to hurt the brand for Standard Misadventures, something we've been working almost 6 years to make. And by the will of those actors, I'm not going to go back and redo these. Nor is anyone else. The time for the show has passed. Everyone else has moved on. It's kind of like, for example, if, say, I'm trying to think of an example here. Say Eric Bauza for Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon. There's 6 episodes there. And he wants out of 3 of them. Are you going to go back and redo the whole thing again? Or are you just going to stop airing those? But the thing is, unlike, say, Ren and Stimpy, VTA has a lingering story. So it'd be, I guess, more appropriately, it'd be like if Dante Bosco wanted out of Avatar The Last Airbender. That'd be a bit rough. And I am not Nickelodeon, so I don't have giant amounts of time, money, and resources. This is not something I see as worth it. Will any of the extra videos get unlisted? So any of the Q&A or deleted scenes or summer vacations? Yes. What websites will be allowed to re-upload VeggieTales Abridged? None of them. None of them. That's why I'm going to be uploading them to all of them. Say Dailymotion, Vimeo, etc. And if they pop up on there, they're going down. It's not that I don't want any part of VeggieTales again, I just don't want this. Have you not been listening to my reasoning? Or have you not seen the video? I recommend watching that video first before commenting on this. Sorry, Julie Miller, I wasn't talking to you there, I was talking to T-Jax Quackers Racing or whatever. Like I said, this is going to be gone. And I'm setting that in stone. Okay, here's another comment. What happens if someone posts them somewhere else? I take them down. Same thing as what happens when a bunch of people used to re-upload VeggieTales Live and reload it, because they used to do that. They used to slap their own names on it and then upload it, and, well, I will take them down. Yes, you can put them on a VHS if you'd like, but because you're allowed to download them and use them for your own personal use, but posting them for everyone else to see, that's not okay. And I will not let that happen to the very best of my ability. Not because of, well, partially because of me, because of standard. And, but also because of those actors that wish to stay away. Like, they don't want anything to do with this anymore. They don't want to do with a lot of similar projects. So I'm doing the best to honor their wishes and leave them be and let them to their own devices. It's their own personal life. There's things going on in there that even they themselves can't control for one of them. So I totally get it. So I'm thinking in their best interest too, and I ran it by them. They agreed with this. I ran it by all the other cast members. They agreed too. Every cast member and editor I could get a hold of, they all seemed to agree. And in the Discord group too, because I have a Discord for Media Mementos and Big P Library, not this channel because it's really just standard at this point. Everyone seemed to be in agreement that this was a good idea, so long as I let everyone download the episodes, because let's face it, a lot of work went into these. And to throw them away entirely with no way for anyone to watch them again, that wouldn't be fair. So that's why they're staying up for a couple more months, to give everyone time to download them and do whatever they want with them. Remixes and YouTube poops that use them as a source, they can stay. It's just the full episodes, specifically the ones with the actors in them that want gone. Anything else you guys have? I will say, I guess it's been a while since, what was I saying? No, they're not embarrassed about their performance. It's just, I don't want to say personally because I don't want to out them, because if I say the reason, you'll know who they are, and one of them specifically is asked to remain private, and I don't want to violate their privacy. One of them, it's more something going on in their personal life they can't really control, and I totally understand that. And another one, it's more of a, I guess, an image thing, sort of. It's hard to explain. But that's as vague as I can be while keeping them anonymous, while also giving you the proper detail. Don't worry, nobody's a pedophile. None of us had a big fight. There isn't some kind of grand showdown that's had horrible things happen. Really, it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances that are going on in these people's lives that VTA has been affected. Had it not been for the actors, too, then I would take these videos off and put them on another channel. Because no matter what, they'd be leaving the TAS Productions channel. Because that is all for Standard Vermont. That's what we're doing, Standard Misadventures. So if the actors were okay with staying in there, if this never had happened, it would go to an archive channel. But because it's not worth it to redo all these episodes, I'm going to make sure that they go down. I don't think they'll be missed all too much. I mean, I know a lot of people love them, but the viewership has really died down and people have moved on. Not just the people in it, but also the people watching it too, and I think that's okay. It had its moment in the sun. It was good, but they can't stay forever. No, because I'm trying to make sure all the episodes are gone. So no, not animated either. Because remember, it's not the videos themselves. I'm just trying to make sure all the series is gone. I'm just checking right here, and it looks like no one has re-uploaded them yet. That's good. That's good. Honestly, Mathology Official, I actually kind of forgot about VeggieTales Abridged 2 until I got recommended that when I was watching the premiere of Standard. It just shows you how little I ended up thinking about it. And heck, I talked with a couple of the other actors, and they forgot doing it too. Hey, Whoop Do, how you doing? That's that's our first editor, Whoop Do there. Everyone give him a round of applause. You did a great job. I'm not embarrassed about making the series at all. No, I thought it was a great time. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm embarrassed about making the first few episodes, like episodes 1, or rather 0 through 5. I actually was for a while before I decided to cut the series short. I was gonna go back and do this plot line where after the Lyle episode, I believe, no, it was after an Easter Carol because we were gonna go that far. They're like, oh well, we don't know what's next, and the puppet master's thinking, oh no, this is where the quality starts dipping. I'm gonna go back and loop the timeline again, and then basically it's an excuse to go back and remake episodes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in a good way. And then 5 was going to have them go, wait a second, this is like, what is it, the fourth time we're doing this storyline? Oh no, wait a minute, something's wrong. And then that's when George pops in saying, hey, this is what I found about the Puppet Master. And then there's all this kind of like destruction stuff, and that's when postgame happened. But because we decided to cut the series short, we decided to make episode 25 Uh-Oh, and then postgame, which actually, I'm kind of glad it went that way because Uh-Oh was one of my favorite episodes. Next to postgame, I felt Uh-Oh was the best because what little jokes it did have I thought were really well done, but it also showed that I'm not just a comedy writer, I can do serious stuff too. Although I think postgame kind of blew that out of the water because a lot of people said they got really emotional at the credits. It's because of the music choice, I think, and we can all thank WTLN for that because, you know, that was his say. He did a good job. Is there any way to create a shared drive for those who download? I don't have any room on my Google Drive, but if someone wanted to do that, go ahead. If not, use something like 4K Video Downloader or keepvid.io or something. Just getting some water here. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Because remember, I'm going to say it once again, you can absolutely do whatever you want with it, just as long as you don't re-upload it or stuff like that. Because, you know, as per the voice actor's wishes, this needs to go. I agree with you, Leaf Razor. Actually, and I do like how chaotic post game was a bit because the original plan for post game was just Jonah, and I still have the original script for post game version 1. I don't like it because it doesn't make any sense and it lingers too much. Like we kind of tried to make it its own movie, and it didn't work because the Jonah story and the VeggieTales Abridged story were so incompatible and they were so different. There's no way we could have done it the way that it was supposed to be. So I think that cramming Lyle and all those other ones we did into it, I honestly can't even remember all of them we did. I think cramming them in like that was a good idea because in the end it helped make the story stronger and we were able to get away with more. We had a really epic finale where things went totally off the rails. We had Art Vandelay in the thing. Oh, it was great. See, thank you that David A has moved. Yeah, that's exactly actually what I wanted to do. In fact, showing that I could do more than comedy in Uh-Oh and Postgame was actually a big handle here. I'm gonna admit something to you guys. That was actually a trap because I knew no one was watching the newer Live and Reloadeds, which we were starting to make more serious, like You're At It Again, Johnny Black. People weren't watching that. It's one of the reasons why the show went down. So we knew Standard was going to happen really soon. So I decided to make Uh-Oh and Postgame more serious to show people, hey, look at this writing style I can do. And hey, you're going to get more of that in this. So that's what happened with Standard Misadventures. Is this whole thing was a ploy to help promote that and show, hey, this can work. We already did make an episode about Jonah and Khalil. It's called Postgame. It's the last episode. It didn't get the shaft for more focused on Abridged. Uh, what happened with that specifically was we moved on to college. Kyle and I went on to different colleges, which made it really hard to do recording. And our schedules filled up. No one was watching it. We decided to put more focus on other things like standard. Abridged at that point didn't really get much of an additional focus, really. It only came out faster because WTLN was able to get these done so quickly. Aside from that, Live and Reloaded we felt was kind of, I guess, kind of losing its place because the whole point of the show was to pacify people because the old VeggieTales wasn't back and people were really missing the old stuff. There was the In the House or the DreamWorks era. Hello, Doug. And that wasn't going to cut it with folks, right? So what we decided to do was make our own. But now that the original was back, and for the most part, it seems to be pleasing everybody, we felt, no one's watching it anymore, and we're all the way in college with jobs and all this crazy stuff going on. It's going to be too difficult to do this. The only reason standard is because that's something we've been working on for so many years. It's a passion project of ours, and one we're never going to let see fail. Yeah, I agree. Watching something so this thing mature like that was crazy because the old stuff was just awful. Like I can't stand the humor I use. There was like one or two good jokes in the original, and I'm trying to remember them, but honestly, it's all so much of a blur. I think one of the jokes I liked, but I don't think translated well, was Daniel the Mailman Trapper, whatever it was called, where the narrator was trying to tell the story, but the actors weren't going along with it. I later used that for A Tale of Two Tales, kind of. But basically, what am I saying? Oh yeah, I don't think it was written well enough, and I don't think it was transferred enough, especially with the weird like mic I used. Nothing about that translated, and the awful editing. I'm a lot of things, but an editor is not one of them. Media mementos is basically the extent of what I can do, and even then, it's not fantastic because only the episodes like El Super Beasto or the upcoming Ren and Stimpy Adult Party cartoon where I get the wonderful, talented voice of George himself, Billy Willie, aka Lever Productions. Go check out his channel, #plug. Only when he edits the stuff does it actually look good. So yeah, that's why I'm glad I got folks like Whoop Doo or Lee Fraser or WTLN or for one or two episodes Axis. I'm glad I got all those folks to help out because I don't know if I would have been able to continue with VTA. Heck, it most certainly wouldn't have been able to go the way I wanted it because I always wanted it to take that weird turn where it turns out the whole thing was actually the real show and it was under like mismanagement and all this crazy stuff broke down with alternate worlds. Yeah, there's no way I could have done that with my feeble editing skills. So thanks to all of you guys who helped make it possible. And thanks to all the actors who came on board too, because I couldn't voice everybody. I can do a lot of voices, but there's no way I could or would have been willing to play everybody. So NBC Mekachu, Billy Willie, Claus of the Crew, everybody who ever auditioned and got a role, or even just auditioned. It's good to know that we had a lot of support, and all those who got cast, it was great because you really helped make the show what it was, and you helped it come to be. And I thank you guys so much for that because the show really wouldn't have been anything without you guys. Even those of you who only appeared for one episode. Let's face it, it would have been an entirely different show. And heck, a lot of those one-off characters like Awful Alvin, they become the stars of the show. Everyone loves them. So even if you only had like a few small lines in one episode, don't think of anything less. Hey, look, do at least like 6 through 10, or I don't know, were those the ones you did? I still like them better than what I did, okay? They're, and I still don't know how episode 8 is the most viewed out of all of them, even more than Post-Game. I don't get it. Even when I was making that, I felt episode 8 was one of the weaker ones on writing standpoint for sure. I don't know how it got so popular. I've deleted so many videos off this channel. I don't even remember them. In fact, a lot of those old reviews I did, they've been privated too. And nobody's noticed because they're so bad. I've privated them all. They're still there, so I can reflect on them and not erase my past, but they're history. I do not know if he had any of that stuff, and even then, I don't have any way to contact WTO, and he kind of disappeared after post game. But again, that's stuff in his own personal life. I don't really understand what happened. Oh yeah, I forgot you did Lovey too. It's so strange to hear, like, because clearly your voice dropped after so much time. So hearing Lovey in, what was the first one? She was in episode 8, and then the last time she appeared, it's a fair bit different. Yeah, Sweet Pea Beauty video. That one is also gone because I didn't want to risk Media Mementos getting a following. And now it is. It's about 400 subscribers and not even a year in. So I'd say that's a win. The new video we have coming up, Ren and Stimpy's Fundamentally Broken Adult Party Cartoon, is, I think, going to be the best video I've ever made. Because I didn't even make it. Billy Willie, again, voice of George, and Goliath, he so graciously edited this 1 hour, some minute video. It's this giant video with all these like kind of spectacles going on. Oh, it's great. Although I am kind of scared that it's going to be that Doug Walker, The Wall situation where it's, oh, we put in so much work and it's crap. Yeah, I don't want that. But I'm to the end of silliness video. It's private. Oh, cool. I'm glad you're interested in that. It's going to be premiering at 7 o'clock Central Time on Wednesday on the Media Mementos channel. Will you review the Jonah movie? No. You should review Shining Time Station on Media Mementos. Sorry, I don't take requests unless you win the Patreon raffle review, which I am going to be adjusting my Patreon soon to lower the prices on a lot of things. So that way more people will be inclined. I'm going to add more tiers and I'm going to lower the prices on stuff so that way, you know, it's more affordable to folks like us, especially in these trying times of COVID-19, which I don't know if you've heard of it. It's this little disease going around. I know, it's a little underground. No one really talks about it. Oh, I just saw Wuka's comment up here with the voice. Yeah. I mean, Billy Willie and I were talking about this the other day. With him doing George, his voice dropped too, although it's not as noticeable with Lovey's because Lovey was like a falsetto voice. But if you listen to George in between episode 7 and episode 12, it's really, really different because he had his voice drop in between those two. So he kind of made George sound a lot higher later on because he was trying to imitate his old voice. He was trying to do stuff like that. And it did kind of make it seem a little bit different. Personally, I felt it was kind of like, oh, you know, he hasn't done this in a while, so he's kind of changed up the voice. But no, I learned later on, and then that kind of stuck, the whole high-pitched, weird, happy guy. Actually, Coconut, that made me start binge watching the show too. But yeah, VTA, it's been a wild ride. And actually, I totally forgot until this morning when I was looking up VTA to see where I'd have to go to look and see if people are re-uploading it anywhere. I forgot there's a wiki about it. It's like a really bare bones, nothing on it wiki. Because yeah, there's not a lot of stuff going on. And especially now that the show's over. Although you will be seeing some of that stuff because the same voice I use for Bob is the same one I use for Ethan in Foul Manor.
And then Larry's voice, man, I think I actually haven't done this voice since post-game. This is the voice of Muffin from Muffin and Smelly, which are the two main characters in the show within a show on Standard Misadventures. Basically, that's the Itchy and Scratchy for Standard Misadventures. Ugh.
So there's stuff like that. You'll be seeing some of it, and of course the spirit of some of the humor of VTA, although mostly the humor of Live Reloaded, will live on in Standard Misadventures. And hey, if you ever want to see some of the other stuff, a lot of the other people have shows like DDZ is going on, I believe. Lever Productions, aka Billy Willie, he's got his own channel. So the spirit's going to live on, even if the show is not going to live on. Have some of the videos been affected by COPPA? Kind of. Well, more of the good sports game re-uploads, but all I had to do was go in and then flick them to not for kids, and I can start making money and read the comments again. It's simple. I kind of remember Chad Tronic freaking out about it, and I was a little nervous, but then when it actually happened, I barely noticed anything. So it's not been affecting me all too much. Spider-Man 103, I've said this so many times, and I've seen your comments and people have replied to you recommending stuff. I'm not going to answer these questions again. And also, if you guys want to see other shows I've got going on that's not standard, I have this other channel called the Lidkey Library right now where I'm doing How I Would Have Made It. You remember that show? Well, I'm doing that again. I have a Drawn Together episode up on there, League of Super Evil, 2 seasons of Thumb Wrestling Federation, which will be more coming along, Wayside, and this also original series called Foul Manor, which fully proves that I can not only do serious, but I can do more mature serious, like a TV-14 level. That's about, again, 8. I don't know what's meaning the number 8, but 8 recent college graduates who go on to this reality show that is anything but normal. It looks like a Big Brother knockoff, but something horrible is going on behind the scenes, and slowly but surely their lives get ruined. It's a little dark, but it really shows that I can write characters and not just jokes. And heck, a lot of it comes from life experiences from a lot of my friends, so there's a lot of experience there. I agree. Mr. Enter's Copa video was actually pretty down to earth, and it was actually on point. I know Mr. Enter is normally the one who gets more hyperbolic and focuses on minute details, so when he's the one that gets a lot of the stuff right and realistic, that's impressive. Disclaimer, I do like Mr. Enter, it's just that is a flaw. Everyone has a flaw. I have flaws. You have flaws. Everyone does. That's just one of them that tends to pop up in his. Oh, I remember that, Leah Fraser. Yeah, I remember that being a big deal. Ooh. Do I have any other animated movies I like? Oh, yeah, tons. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to miss this series, Spider-Man 103. I'm honestly going to miss it too. Like, I guess it's Stockholm Syndrome because I was not enjoying the show at all. Like, what a lot of Lulu onwards, I think, was when I really stopped liking the show because just so much was kind of going nuts with the fandom, especially, and there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But now that it's over, I can kind of take a little look back and say, you know, I'm proud I made this. I'm happy, and it turned out basically exactly how I envisioned it. And it didn't have any network interference for the most part. There was honestly some, but no, not enough to really hurt the product. And I'm glad about that. I don't know who Super Mario Logan is. Yeah, I agree with the Copa thing. It's not nearly as bad as everyone thought it was going to be. I was a little nervous, like I said, but I'm glad that it didn't turn out to be anything bad. I'm glad everything's going to be okay. And heck, on the Wiki Library stuff, because the Foul Manor stuff has animated characters on it, which are my own original creations, although Isabella Cataldo, artist for Light and Reloaded, did draw them. I was afraid that would also be hit as made for kids because that was set to debut that January. So, although it did get delayed, I think, to February. And, you know, now with Thumb Wrestling Federation, How I Would Have Made It, or any of the How I Would Have Made It's in general, I think they would have gotten hit hard too. Even though Thumb Wrestling Federation, How I Would Have Made It being the most popular on that channel, there's nothing incendiary about it at all. It's basically just audio-only versions of the episodes. With me doing the voices, because
I really like the show when I was a kid, so I remember practicing
over and over, doing all the various impressions, and
I guess something in me has prevented me from ever forgetting how to do the voices
of all the characters. Oh, ouch! See, stuff like that. I bet like 3 of you out there know what that show is. But yeah, it was one of the things I really liked as a kid. I had all those ideas, and I'm thinking, the show could have been really utilized a lot better. So let me show you how I would have done it. That's how I would have made it. And then it became so popular, I decided, how about a couple more seasons? Yes, when you hear the quotes every day, it gets tiring because that was one of the big things that got me is when people would go onto those review videos of mine that had worked so long on, like ITV Digital. I researched for a month and a half or something. I don't remember exactly how long. And then the top comment on that was, "Where is my money?" Like the kind of stuff like that. That dug into me. Oh, actually, yeah, I will link the other channels. Let me go look at them real quick. So I'm going to get on that. Please fill up the description as much as you can because I want to see what you guys have to say. All right, I just posted the link to Media Mementos. And here's the link to Lidkey Library. Oh, thank you, Mythology Official. That really means a lot because I worked so hard. Yes, your questions did get answered, I believe. I still don't know who Super Mario Logan is. You just asked me that. So those links that I posted right there, the first one is linked to Media Mementos, my review channel. And then the other one is the link to Lidkey Library, which is, again, my original stories channel, or how I would have made it channel. Expect more stuff in there, like an upcoming Dave the Barbarian project. I'm just waiting for the art to get finished on that, and then we will be all set and ready to go for that. I was originally going to have Kimtown on there. Do you guys remember Kimtown? That was this one how I would have made Poketown project from way back in the day where I was going to make fun of North Korea. However, now that I finally have the files back and everything, I was going to make it, but then I realized while editing it, this is awful. It's so bad. So bad. I decided I'm not going to release it at all because it'd be so horrible. It's a weird sound. Yeah, Kim Town. The script was awful. The voice work for a lot of the characters was not great. I didn't choose the best actors, but yeah, that's just gonna be a weird footnote in history. Yeah, we can all agree Kim Town, whatever few of us saw it, it was not good. It had good ideas, but it was not good at all. Like none of it was good. Like almost VTA episode 0 through 5. Yeah, I know, that bad, right? Oh, you guys hang tight real quick. I'll be right back. I gotta go get something for you guys. Let's go, come on. Okay, I am back. So I'm going to turn on the... Do I have a webcam here? Please tell me I do. Ah, yes, I'm going to turn it on. Hello, everybody. Can you see me? Hello! Remember this? Hi, everybody! You can see my lips move because I'm not a good puppeteer. Let me turn the light on. So remember this? This is Smelly from VeggieTales Abridged postgame. Say hi, Smelly. So weird thing about this puppet and also the other one, yes, Hugh, was that when Kyle and I and his brothers were younger, we saw this puppet show. It was awful. Don't give me that look. It was terrible. Basically, they had these awful puppets and they were going on these really cringy adventures like, oh, well, Billy had a Bible and he wouldn't let me borrow it, so I guess he's evil or something. I don't remember the story behind it. It was so bad. But we made fun of the puppets and we called them Muffin and Smelly. Well, lo and behold, we found the exact same puppets years later, and we had to buy them. So now we officially co-own these two, the actual Muffin and Smelly that we saw all those years ago. So this is the Smelly that we used for VeggieTales Abridged postgame. Now, had the green screen suit that I ordered arrived in time, I would have been able to green screen and have her float. However, instead, I just decided to have the black arm, which I felt was actually better because when I did this, and the whole character was, derping around, acting like this, and then she freaked out and then was thrown aside, and then there was just the hand there, I felt that was kind of good for the Puppet Master angle. So that's Smelly in her full glory. Now time to show you the Puppet Master. Because yes, he's actually a puppet. And there's a dog right here. Hi, how are you? Here it is. The good old Puppet Master, the villain of VTA. Who would have thought he would have looked like this, right? And he has my exact voice. So unlike having Art Vandalay do it, then it's just me. So, go back down. It is me. I am the Puppet Master. All shall serve me forever. I am the king of the known universe. Stuff like that. And the weird thing about him, I never knew about Muffin, because that's what we called him. This one was Muffin, that one was Smelly. He has a double-ended shirt, so technically speaking, we can make this naked. I'm not going to do that because this is a family-friendly thing. Don't worry, there's nothing under here. It's just an arm, or as they'd say, Billy and Mandy, on a forearm from the waist down! Ah! So yeah, you can actually, really, if we got a shirt that was like this size, we could reskin him and make him wear like a tuxedo or something. So one of the things we are going to do is that Muffin and Smelly are going to be characters in Standard Misadventures, right? So every so often, like what happens on The Simpsons, we'll cut to an Itchy and Scratchy segment. Well, we do that, but with Muffin and Smelly too, only eventually, when this gets big enough, we're actually going to put them to the footage and use these guys, reenacting the terrible episodes because they're awful. These are the voices that we end up using. It's
the Larry voice gets used for this one, which personally I feel is a little bit ironic because, well, this guy first debuted on VeggieTales Abridged, and now he has the Larry voice. And of course, this one has a stupid, ugly sounding Klo Cossack voice.
Look forward to that. And now the webcam goes off. Yes, the new series is just audio, but every so often we will have visual stuff, like if we have a guest animator, or again, we're putting the puppet stuff to the audio that we already filmed. It kind of does sound like Yoda. A lot of people did think the Puppet Master was going to be me. The main ones that people thought it was going to be was me, Phil Vischer, or George, and they were wrong, because the Puppet Master wasn't really supposed to be anybody. It was supposed to be some guy who happened to be the Puppet Master. Now the dog's freaking out about the puppets. Yes, I do. And also, some people thought it was Tim Allen because of that one April Fool's Day joke I did. I'm still proud of that I fooled some people. I'm happy with that. So I think that's kind of cool, huh? You guys finally saw the puppets in action. Actually, I'm going to see if I can show you something else too. Now, considering the fact that only 4 episodes were recorded when I was in here, this is going to look different from how it was originally, but I'm going to show you the recording setup I used for used, rather. This is me, and this is my microphone. Right here we have some amplifiers down here, and we also have we had a mixing, well, it's under there, it's all covered. So basically what I'd do is I'd put my headphones on, and I'd go in and say something like, "Hey Larry, remember the time when we had a boat?" "No." "Me neither." "Well, bye kids." "Bye." "Stop right this minute. What do you think you're doing? You can't stop the story like that."
Well, I don't know if the story goes like that because this isn't an actual story. The show's over. This is meaningless improv.
"Yeah, after all, the whole show's gonna go under anyways. May as well give them one last little bit to remember it by."
Yeah, listen to this short little round thing who's annoying and says ugly words with his ugly mouth.
"Larry, it's mean. Words are hurtful."
They're hurtful when I say they're hurtful. And right now,
Stuff like that. And now it goes black again. So there you go. That's probably like the last little bit of VTA you'll ever see is that non-canon improv. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Have I ever had weird looks for making those voices? No, because I've never made them in public. I've only ever done them in the vocal booth or with people who know what the show is about. I'm not like a super huge puppet fan. I just have these for you because these are the awful things that Kyle and I first saw. And if you want like a good puppet, plug in him because a lot of his expertise keep coming up. So the Puppet Master? Well, no, because the Puppet Master is a guy. He just said that he wanted to represent himself through a puppet. So technically speaking, we have no idea what he looks like. Well, we have a tutorial recording studios. Not my room specifically, but my recording studio, yes. At college, it's different because I just have a microphone that's hooked up to my computer. I'm actually going to try to make a behind the scenes, I guess, for either Standard and or Thumb Wrestling Federation, how I would have made it, kind of showing you how I record them. Because what I do, again, is I just get there, I record. As you can tell, my face changes a bit when I do the voices. So like you could see my eyes move and my demeanor would change a little bit when I do the voices, right? So it's stuff like that. Personally, I like the studio I have here at home because when I record, say, Thumb Wrestling Federation, Foul Manor, Standard Misadventures, it helps me kind of feel more like an actual actor so I can put in more in it. What I have is my laptop out right in front of me, and I read the script, and I use a lot of body language because I feel like if I move my body, I can get more into the character. And if I'm more into the character, my performance is going to be better. And that's always how it's going to be with everything I do. That's how I did it with VeggieTales Abridged too. Although with Larry, I was like flailing around, as you could kind of see there. It was a little different because I was holding the laptop, which I'm using to live stream right now. But yeah, essentially that's what I would do. I'd jerk around like an idiot, and that's what Larry was. It's weird though, because I haven't done the Larry voice in about a year, and did I sound that rusty? I mean, I was probably a little off, but you know what I mean. And the dog's staring at me. What are you doing? You haven't seen VeggieTales Abridged, have you? One little thing I do remember was Dole's Revenge. I actually uploaded in the Senator Ted Cruz office. Like when I was waiting for my interview, I posted it there. So that'll always be something. Although I was trying to get a premiere going because I'm sure you guys remember Fiat Recast Super Spectacular was the first one that actually had a premiere. So when I was uploading that, I'd never used the Premiere feature before because I didn't have a video big enough to do that. That wasn't live and reloaded. That would take forever at a Premiere. So what I wanted to do with that was make a Premiere, but I didn't realize that when you made it scheduled, you had to set the Premiere switch. I thought it did that automatically, that scheduled was Premiere. So that's why it changed a bit, and that's why it came out a little late, and there was no Premiere. Whoops. Luckily, the new VTAs after that were able to get that going. No, I have not seen the new VeggieTales. I've been way too busy. I got work, even if it is with COVID-19, I'm still staying here at home, working from home, trying to make sure I get a good job. I'm in my senior year of college. Standard Misadventures is taking up a lot of time. My other YouTube channels, which are starting to grow for channels their sizes, especially Media Mementos. It's like a new subscriber every day, and I'm so thankful for that. It's not really because I don't want to see it, of course. I mean, I do. I've heard good things about it, but it's not really something I'm super chasing after right now. When it comes to VTA, there's like, I mean, I'm never really going to forget it. Even if it is gone, it's always going to be a big part of my history here. And no matter how much I erase that and any of that, it's never going to be gone. It's never really going to truly be gone. It'll always live on in our hearts and hopefully in our hard drives, right? I've got all the episodes I want to keep, and I hope you guys do the same. You have a lot of softwares to choose from. And whichever one you end up deciding to use, I fully endorse you guys doing it because, again, as much as the series needs to disappear from online, it shouldn't disappear forever. Whether you liked it or didn't like it or were indifferent on it, all the same. You know what I'm saying. So I think that's about it, everybody. Thank you very much for watching it. Really means a lot, all your support. And if you ever have any more questions about this, feel free to reach out to me. I really, really would appreciate it if you guys watch Standard. So many years were put into this, and it's a passion project. Been working for almost 6 years now at this point, and we really, really want to keep it. Julie Miller, once again, I've said this so many times while you were on. No, it's not getting re-uploaded anywhere. The whole point is for it to disappear online. But anyways, again, thank you all for watching. Please check out Standard. It really means a lot to us. Yes, it does. T-Jax Quackers Racing. It does have to go away. Have you not been listening? I know you've been here the whole time. Don't pretend like I haven't said the reason over and over again. If you're not going to listen, that's okay, but don't pretend like I haven't been saying anything. Just acknowledge the fact you haven't been listening, and we'll be fine. And again, you can put as many emojis as you want. I'm not changing my mind. And I think everyone else gets that, right? Everyone? Because I get it. A lot of you don't want it to go away. A lot of you want it to stay, but it's not going to stay. It can't. There's no feasible way. I don't have the time, I don't have the resources, I don't have the energy, and I don't have the will to make sure it stays. It's going to be a footnote in history. It'll live on in our hearts, our hard drives, but not on the internet. And remember, I'll be checking. I'll always check. In fact, I'll check again right now just to see. Doesn't look like it. Yep, nope, no one's re-uploaded it. That's good. So again, please check out Standard, Medium, Mementos, any of that other stuff. Thank you all for being a great audience for VTA when it was around.
Thanks for watching. It means a lot to us, and we'll see you on whatever project we do next.